is the part 2 of how I edit my playlist videos. I have a part 1. I will link it down in the description box and put it in a little card here.
But to get started on editing the morning mood playlist, you are going to open your Creative Cloud desktop app. So for you guys who don't have Creative Cloud has a 30 days trial that you guys can just go ahead and download. It's super easy to download so that you guys can try and using some of their apps. Today we are only going to be using InDesign app. So you can just download the InDesign. Maybe I don't know if you can specifically choose, but you can actually just download the whole Creative Cloud and then use it for 30 days for free. And if you don't think that you are going to need it anymore after those 30 days, you can just cancel. Or if you like it and wanting to keep using it, then just keep using it, you know. But they will be, of course, taking money from you once a month. And I have to admit, Creative Cloud is kind of like an expensive solution. I think it's expensive. But for students, y'all students out there, y'all get a student discount that is like half the price. So it's just so much cheaper. So for me, it's not cheap anymore since I'm not a student anymore and I am not studying or in school at the moment. So it is a little bit more expensive, actually much more expensive. So you really save a lot of money with the student discount. So and as you can see, I have so many apps because I have the whole Creative Cloud package. But the only apps I need are these 4: Photoshop, Illustrator, Acrobat DC, and InDesign. And you guys might ask, then why the hell do you have the whole package? And that's because I need Photoshop, Illustrator, and InDesign in my everyday life, in everything I do. But Creative Cloud is so clever, they do not have a package with only those 3 applications in. So the only package I can choose so that I can have both Photoshop, Illustrator, and InDesign is the whole damn Creative Cloud package. So yeah, that is why I have the whole package. So yeah, today we are going to be focusing on InDesign. InDesign is really good for working with layouts, zines, posters, thumbnails, just the visual layout aspects of it. It's really good. I know most people make their mood boards on Photoshop, but I like to do it on InDesign. Like, I do it on Photoshop as well, but I find it easier to make mood boards on InDesign. So we're just going to go ahead and open that up. So now that you have your InDesign open, you are going to click on Create New. And it looks a little bit complicated, but it is actually very easy to figure out. You just need to have a title. I'm going to title this Morning Playlist Tutorial. So that's the title. And then there's different units. Just click and inches, millimeters, centimeters, pixels. We're going to work with pixels. That is what I prefer. I prefer to work with centimeters and pixels. So pixels here. Let me see, I think I have a format already from beforehand. I think it's this one. Yes, here it is. These are the measurements of a YouTube video resolution. Width is 1280 pixels. Height is 720 pixels. And I don't mess with any other information that is here. I've never done it. I don't know, even like there are margins. I don't really need it. So that is the only thing I click on. There's orientation. If you want it to be portrait, you can click on the portrait and it will switch, as you can see. But we are going to work with landscape. So that's that. And you just click on create. Now this will be the thing that shows up when you have created your file. So the first thing I like to do is to zoom out a little so I have more vision, the visual of what I'm doing. So I'm also I'm working on a Windows. This is the Windows computer, so I don't really know the shortcuts on a Mac, but they are easy to find on Google. Just search InDesign shortcuts on Mac. So to zoom out, I'm just going to be clicking to Control minus, like that. Looks about right to me. So before we get started with our layout, we want to reference the music player template. You guys know what I'm talking about, the music player template that I use for my morning mood playlist. So before we insert a picture, I want to create a rectangle frame tool. This is here, this is the one that we're going to be using. If you place your mouse here and right click, there are also other functions that you can use. There's ellipse frame tool, polygon frame tool. I just always go with rectangle and sometimes ellipse, and ellipse you can turn into circle as well. So rectangle it is, and I'm just going to be placing it on this corner and then drag it so that it fills up the whole screen. So imagine this whole white screen is your YouTube video. And then we are just gonna go up here, click on file, and click on place, or you can write Control D. And let me find my YouTube here, and then I think it's playlist. Why did I hide it in my morning mood playlist? Here is the reference picture that I used. As you can see, this playlist template, I found mine on Pinterest. You can literally find it also on Google Pictures. They're everywhere. Or just take a screenshot of your own music playlist. Sorry. So now we have this picture, and I want to make this picture a bit bigger. So I'm just going to click on that little circle here. So every time you click on any other areas but the circle, it will only select your border that you created. But if you want to select the picture itself, you need to click on this little round thingy and then just place it by dragging it to wherever you want, and then you click on shift. You hold down shift and then you click a corner so that it doesn't change with the resolution of it. It stays the same. It's gonna make it a little bit more bigger. I think this should be fine. I'm gonna place a middle, and you can see that as soon as there's this auto function, that as soon as you hit middle, there's this pink line that shows, so that you know that it's the middle. So now that you have your reference picture ready, and you're actually ready to draw it, because we want to copy this only and make it a PNG so that you can put on top of the GIFs that I always do. So that is what we want and are doing on this app. So now that you have this, you're going to go to layers. So layers function is like, okay, let's say it's the same as you do in real life if you want to trace something. So I just, whenever I work with layers, I think of them as different papers that I have. So this is layer 1, the one with the picture, the one I want to trace. So I will be adding another paper, aka another layer, on top of layer 1 so that I can trace the picture on layer 1. You can also move the layers so that layer 2 becomes layer under layer 1, but we want layer 2 to be on top of layer 1. So they are like, you can just move them around. And they have fun functions that we are also going to use. We are going to be using the lock. So as soon as you click here, it's become locked, which meaning that I can't move the picture. The original picture will not be messed with. I can't move it, which also makes it easier when I'm drawing. So, and you can also, this eye means that you can turn it off. This function is really good when you have different layout designs that you're working with, but you don't want to delete any of them until you've decided on which you want. So you can just click on the eyes, so that instead of deleting it, you're just doing it so that you can't see it, you know, and then you can delete it when you want to. So now we are gonna have the eyes open, and then we are not going to lock layer 2 since it's on layer 2. We are going to draw on top of. So before we start, let me zoom in. So here is the zooming tool. Click on that, and then I'm gonna zoom into the heart because that I have chosen that is going to be the first thing that I draw. So you just literally click on any space, click, hold, and then make a triangle or square around the heart, and then let go. Here you have it. So to draw, I'm going to be using this pen tool. Just click on the pen tool and let's start drawing. So find a point that you want to start. I always like to start on bottom. I don't on the bottom. So here I am. Click here, and then I like to choose here before the curve starts. So you click it and you don't let go. You click and you hold it in and you drag. And as you can see, you can't really see the line, and that's because you need to go up here and see these are like the colors. This one is the line, and this one is the filling. So we want the line, and I want my line to be white. There's a lot of other colors you can choose, but I want white. And the fun part is if you double click here, it will show up with this color. And if you have a specific hex code, you can just write it in here and then click OK. It's that easy. And then once you're done with that line, you click on the I don't know how to say, like the point you just ended. You click on that to start a new line. You click, and then you click, and then you find another point that you want to draw, and you click, hold it in, don't let go, and then drag. As you can see, like these curves, just gonna make the curves so that it looks like a heart, like that, and let go. I'm gonna click on the last point, click, and then we're gonna make it as symmetrical as possible. We're gonna make it into a heart again, and then click, and then as soon as you want all these lines to be connected. So as you can see, like the drawing beside the pen, now here is like a triangle, it becomes round here. You want it to be round because that means that you can fill the drawing, or else you can't fill it with the color inside. You know, you'll see in a second what I mean. So click here and don't let go, and then drag until you have your preferred heart size. Now that looks a little bit wrong, I don't like that, so you're just gonna click Control Z to delete, and we're gonna try that again. Click, and this is fine. That was fine. And then we're gonna go on to the filler color here, and then fill it in with white. See? Hey, now we have a white heart. So now let's move on to these ones. These ones are easy. I'm just gonna, because now we don't have to like hold in and drag. You can click on a point here, and then just click, and let go, because it's only you have to hold it in and drag if you have corners or roundings, but this is just like 3 sharp sides, so you can just click and let go. Make sure to connect here, click and let go, and we're gonna fill it in with yet again white. Just do that with the lining as well, like that. And you know, I'm lazy, I don't want to draw this one again, so what you do is you click the one that you just drawn, and you're gonna click on Control C and Control V, So literally just copy paste. So I think this is fine. Looking good. So now is the okay, before we move on to the pause button, let me do this one. So again, I'm lazy, I don't want to draw it one more time. So to copy these both, not just one but both, we're just gonna draw a rectangle and then just drag over them so that both of them are selected, and then Control C and Control V. Now you can see it needs to be in another direction. And what you do there is you place your mouse on the these triangles, right click it, and you go to transform and you go to flip horizontally. Yes, and then you just, and there you have it. Literally no fuss. So now let's go to the pause. The pause, instead of drawing, we are going to be using the rectangle tool. There's also ellipse tool, polygon tool. I'm going to be using the rectangle tool. I'm going to place it on one corner, click, don't let go, and then drag like that. And let me do the coloring. Oops. Here. And we're gonna go to copy paste, place it here. So now the pause button is done, and now these little fun ones, we're going to be using the same tool, the rectangle tool. It's gonna click on one corner, don't let go, and then drag. And fill it in. Oops. I'm just replacing it. I'm just gonna zoom a little bit more in. That's why I like zooming in, because it just gives you more control. So now, as you can see, my square is a little bit more bigger than the original square. So I'm just going to be holding Shift in, grabbing one corner and making it a little bit smaller. I don't know why my accent is starting to sound British. It's because English is not my first language, and sometimes my accent just changes. I don't know why. Work on these. Click on one corner, don't let go, drag, and we're gonna fill them in as well. Yes. Okay, wait. We're gonna want them to be like, this is like too broad. We want the same width to be like this one, or height. So we're gonna grab one corner and then just drag it like that. Like that. Yay! So now we have to make 3 more. So click on random corner and then just drag and then copy paste. That is one way of doing it. Oh, and then you want to make sure that these are aligned, so there are guides beside here, and then you can just click and drag to make sure that they are like the same, and they are. So what you can do next is, instead of copy pasting, you can select both and then hold the Alt key in and then just drag down. See? Select both, hold down Alt, and then drag your design. There you have it. Now we are going to be working with this one. For this one, I'm going to be using the line tool. This one here, and then just click, don't let go, and then just drag to make a line here. Now I want the color, I still want the color white. And then, as you can see, the line is too thin, so here we are going to make it a little bit more thicker. I think like 3 points maybe. Is that too big? 2, yeah, 2 is enough. right? No, still too small. Like, yeah, 3 is fine. And then there's this line as well, but it's in a different color, so that's why I made it in 2. So like that, and then click on 3. We don't want that one to be white, and I don't want that one to be, maybe I want it to be black, but not that black. So let me just double click on the black and then just drag it a little bit. Like here's some, I want it like grayish brown, like this one. Yeah, perfect. So that is the color I want, and as you can see, there's a circle in the middle. So we're gonna go to the rectangle tool, place your mouse, right click, click on the ellipse tool, and gonna make a circle. So I think 20 is about right. So now it is not like a fully circle, so we're just gonna go here with an height. We're just gonna make sure that they are both the same so that we have a round circle. So I'm just gonna color it white as well. Oops, sorry. Yes. Then make sure to go on the select tool again, and then place. So here we have it. Now these ones. We want to make these ones. Okay. So we're gonna grab the pen tool again, and then we are going to be clicking here, and then again hold it in, don't let go because it's a curve, like that. It's fine. And then this tool here, you have it. And I'm just gonna color it white as well. And you can see this one has a arrow, so we're gonna make the arrow. And to do that, you're gonna go to stroke, and you're gonna go, you started here, right? So that is the start, and this is the end, and you want your arrow to be on the end. So this is the start, this is the end. So you're gonna click here. A lot of options here. I'm just gonna use the triangle wide here, and as you can see, it's way too small, so we're gonna scale it up to maybe like 4. Yeah, that's perfect, like that. And again, I'm too lazy, I don't want to make this one, so we're just gonna select, copy and paste, and then right click, transform, flip vertically, right? But now the problem is that it's not supposed to be that right? This one is going to be here, so we're gonna right click again, transform, and click on flip horizontal. Yay. So there we have it. So there you go. And now we're gonna work with this monkey one. I think this is the last one. I know this is like, hang on there guys. Once you learn all of these, it's super easy. So we're gonna grab the pen tool again. I'm just gonna do like sharp edges because I'm going to be showing you guys how you can make easy curves even if you are drawing in sharp edges. So click here and click here and then click here. First we're just going to make them, I think 4. Yeah, so here we want, yeah, the arrow there. Right, okay, no, that's a little bit ugly. Okay, we're gonna redo that. If it would allow me, Control set. Okay, I wanna do that again. Okay, I'm gonna click, 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 click. Oh, Control Z. Okay, maybe that will work. 4, and then end triangle wide. Yes, that was much better. Okay, then as you can see, I want it to be more curved around here and here. It's like sharp. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go here and then click, and you're gonna click on rounded. Yay! So now it's like more smooth instead of like rigid. There are other functions that you can do like this or this, but I'm just gonna stick with rounded. So now we need to do another one. So click, copy and paste, right click, transform, flip vertical. Now we have this. Yay! Okay. So now it's done. Control minus to zoom out. Now we have our, we're done with our tracing. So let's go to layers and turn and lock this layer so that it is locked. And then we're gonna turn off the this picture layer. We're gonna close the eyes, and you can see now you can't really see it because you have chosen the white color and your background color is also white. So that's why I'm gonna add another layer, layer 3, and now it's layer 3 is on top. Let me show you guys what happens when. Okay, so now I'm just gonna click on like the rectangle tool to just make a little square around with a dark color, just black, so that you can see what we've drawn. But as you can see, we can't see what we have drawn. Panic. Where's the thing that we have drawn? I have my eyes turned on. Why can't I see it? And that's because the layer that you just draw this black triangle on is on top of the drawing layer you just drew. So we're just gonna click on the layer and then drag it down so that you can see it. So this layer 1 has this picture and we don't really need it anymore, so we're gonna unlock it, click on that layer 1 and then just delete it. Yes. See, here we have it, so then you can just check like, do I like everything? I think it looks great. So now we're just gonna lock layer 3, the layer with the triangle, so that we don't mess with that, because I want to make the whole music player template thingy a bit smaller. So to not go like singly, because these are all single drawings that I did, right? So I want to group them. So that's why you're gonna click on random corner, make a triangle, drag it, and make a triangle, and make sure to have every single individual drawing with you, and then just let go. So now everything is selected, and I think it's object, right? Yeah, you're going to go to object and then click on group. You can just also click Control G and group. So now they are not an individual piece anymore. Before, when I clicked, it only selected like the heart, but now when I clicked like any of the figures, it select everything. So now that everything is selected, I'm just gonna make it a little bit more smaller. Click on it, and then hold in shift and then make it a bit smaller. Let me just place it in the middle to have more control. I think it's a little bit still too big, so shift, make it a bit like smaller, and then find the middle. I think that's fine. So there's one more thing we need to do before we are totally done, and that is that we want to, it's gonna zoom in again, and that is that we're gonna write the text of the song and the artist. So we're gonna choose the rectangle frame tool, we're gonna make a frame, and then on that frame we're gonna click on the type tool and then click inside the frame and then write. I'm just gonna start with the artist's name. It's writing in black, that's why you can't see it, and just select it and then just paper, aka white. So CRUSH, crush. I'm just gonna write crush, and then it's up here. You have all the fonts, make it thicker, the metrics, so all the fun stuff up here. So here I have all these font. I either use Times New Roman or Span. Let me use Span here, and then we're gonna click on bold. Then just make the sizing a bit more bigger, maybe like 30. And then let's make this text box a little bit smaller. Just gonna drag the sides, that, and then go to the middle here. Oh, this is not in the middle. Now it's in the middle. And then I'm just gonna copy paste and then place it like here, and then make the text box a bit bigger. The song name is Cereal. And then I'm just gonna use the same font, but I'm not gonna use a bold, just gonna keep it regular. And then just gonna make it, oops, sorry, Control Z, just gonna make it smaller again, like that. Oops. Control Z, oh, like that, and then make sure it's in the middle by clicking here, and then just place it again in the middle. That, and zoom out. I feel like everything is a bit too big, so crush, instead of 30, I'm just gonna make it 24, and then also maybe 24 or just like 20. You can also make your own instead of choosing here by clicking inside the box, like that. Just gonna zoom a little bit in again. Just gonna keep on adjusting until you're happy with it. So I'm just gonna keep on doing that until I'm happy. I think this looks good. So now we're gonna select them all, and then I'm gonna keep a little bit down like that. I think that looks really good. So it's now to, oh my god, as you can see, there's something that's happening here that should not be happening. Okay, so let us fix that. So object, ungroup, let me just make these a bit smaller. Just drag that. Okay, and then this one as well. What did I click on with this one? 2, okay. So 2. Okay. Yeah, sometimes that happens, you know, but just select and then move them a little bit down. Just happen, and just have to find a solution to it, and now it's fine, you know. So we're gonna go to layers, and then we're gonna turn off the black layer, and let me just delete it. We don't need it. Now this is the layer that we want to save. So go to file, I'm gonna click on export or Control E, and it's gonna YouTube, and then I have tutorial. Here I'm just gonna write morning playlist tutorial. I'm gonna save it as a lot, but we are gonna save it as a PNG. So and just click save. And then here max quality, maximum, and you can also click like the top highest one to save, but we are going to be using this picture on another program, and the other program doesn't allow it to be more than 600, so resolution 600 is also fine. So, and transparent background, and then just click export. Save the files as well so that you can come in again and change the artist name and the song name, because those are of course not going to be staying the same. It's only like these guys that are going to stay the same. These guys are going to stay the same, but the artist name and the songs are of course going to change. So you have to go in there and change every time and then save it as a PNG. So go to File, Save As, and then in some file that you have, and then save it as InDesign document. Now I'm not gonna save it because I have already saved, but remember to save it. Please remember to save it. So yeah. PNG saved. We're going to be using Canva. So on Canva, we are going to be creating a new design. Click on create a design and click on the YouTube thumbnail suggestion. So now that we have our file to work with here, we are going to go to uploads. So under uploads, I already have it here. Like this was the test that I did, but upload, click on upload media, go on device and find those GIFs that you want to put on your background, like those GIFs. I find them on Pinterest. This is like the part 2 of how I edit my videos series. So go and click on part 1. I will be leaving the description. I will be leaving the link in the description and also on the card. So click there if you want to know more about like where to find the right pictures, the right songs, so on. So now the pictures here, you're going to be dragging the corner so that it fills up this white space, because this white space is our YouTube video. So we're going to drag like that, and seems about right. So now go to image. I've already have this picture. Oh, that was homebody. Okay. But yeah, let's use this as an example. This is the one that we saved from InDesign, the PDF file that we saved. So we are just going to be, let me just lock this layer. You can do that. It's like the same with Illustrator actually, except I think if you want to draw these, you need to pay for it on Canva. I don't even know how to do that, like drawing these shapes. But yeah, click on there and then just click on lock so that you don't mess with this one, but only this one. So we're just gonna find the middle, just here, and then just find a placement to place it. I think like there should be fine, and I love the size, maybe a little bit more bigger in size, like that. Let me find the middle again. Here. So yeah, I think this looks perfect. Now you're ready. Create like more. You can duplicate this page. You can create new page if you want like a new GIF on there, like this one, and then just like the same concept, and then just do that same concept. And then when you download, you can either download all pages or just select one you want to download. So for me, I'm just going to download page 1, and suggested file type is an MP4 video, page 1, and then just click done. Click download, of course. Now it is downloading, and we are almost there, guys. This is the second step, and the next step is the last step, is the video that we are going to be making, and you're basically done. So this is the last step of our playlist making video. So this is where we're actually going to be making the playlist. I'm using the Movavi video editor. This is the really old version that I bought ages ago. They have a newer version. I think it's called Movavi 12. If you guys want to check it out, I will be linking the link below. They have a trial period of 30 days, I think. Yeah. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna click on add media file, and here we're gonna add two things. So first we're going to be adding the little short video, GIF, MP4, whatever you want to call it, that you made on Canva, which is this one. We're gonna open it, and here we have it. We'll be adding another media file, which is our music. So where can you download your YouTube songs? You can just search on Google. Just gonna click a random, sorry, let me just do this. Here, a random song. You can just click on Google and then just search YouTube music download, and there will come a lot of websites that you can use. You can just find the one that works good for you. So yeah, as you can see, the song is super long. So to not do this all the time, I'm gonna click on here and make it smaller like that. And then just copy and paste. So copy this and then click on the end here and then just paste. Control V all the way until we hit the end of the song. Like that, and you can see the picture is a bit more longer than the song itself. So we're gonna click on the audio file and click on the end here. Click here, and we can see it ends here. So click on where it ends on the video or the GIF. Click, and then we're gonna go to the scissors and then chop it off, and then click on the chopped off part and then delete it. So now here we have it. I'm not going to be playing the song because the song is copyrighted and I don't want this video to get copyrighted. So I'm just gonna mute it and then just play the video for you guys. And here we have it, my morning mood playlist, or my autumn mood playlist as well, my night mood playlist. I really like using this template or this layout, this editing style, because I think it's really cute and really simple. Yeah, so here we have it. So we're just gonna go to file and we're gonna we're just gonna click save movie as a media file, and we're gonna want it the quality to be the highest and choose whatever you want to save your video at, and then just name the file and then click start to save the video. I'm not gonna do that since this is just a trial. So yeah, that is how you edit my morning mood playlist. I know this video was long and the InDesign part must be the hardest part in this video, but I hope it was informative and that I explained well enough so that you guys can understand. If you guys have some questions, just DM me on my Instagram or comment on this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it helpful. Hope you guys have an amazing day, night, morning. Yeah, love you guys so much. Take care of yourself and your loved ones. Bye guys.